Mining camps and mill sites, large and small, exist all over the state of Nevada. Some exist within close proximity to cities and towns, while others lie abandoned and preserved due to their incredible remoteness and difficulty of access. With rooms filled with discarded artifacts from mostly the 50s and 60s, these cabins made for an interesting explore as we search the area for adits and shafts that would allow us access into the mine. Mining camps, such as this, sometimes have large mining artifacts lying around, and this site didn't disappoint. A rarely seen trailer-mounted double-decker gravity separation system with quad shaker tables and hopper was an interesting discovery to say the least. One can only imagine the engineering behind such a device. Then, nearby, we discovered a thermal trommel that was used to roast sulfide ore, ultimately allowing a more efficient recovery of silver and gold. Discovered in 1860 and operated sporadically through 1960, the Sullivan Mine produced molybdenum, tungsten, zinc, gold, and lead, with silver being its primary commodity. So today, on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, come with me as I explore the Sullivan Mill and take you on an incredible subterranean journey as I wind my way through the mountain, searching for artifacts and hidden passages. Abandoned mines as large as this are unique and are some of my most favorite places to explore. With multiple adits, drifts, and levels, one could easily get lost in such a labyrinth. Now, come with me as we begin our incredible journey, exploring the depths of the Sullivan Mine. Alright everybody, let's explore this old mine. So we've got rail on the floor, that's always a good sign. That tells us we're going to be in a larger mine. I can see flags on the ribs. We had geologists in here taking samples. Yep, there's another flag right there. And that's what they do. They come in here and take samples along the way and have them assayed to determine the minerals and the metals at this particular area or part of the mine. Okay, above me here, looking at the geology, we're going through a bunch of andesite right now. And you know you're looking at andesite because it looks like little puffy white snowflakes in the rock, in the rhyolite material. Okay, let's keep on going. And by the size of the waste rock pile outside, this mine could very well have be about 1,000, or I'm sorry, the haulage at it could be around 1,000 feet. Off to my right here, take a look at this. It says, notice the assessment, something has, can you read that, Mr. N?
No.
The assessment, something has been done on this property for 1932.
And it's signed and somebody blacked out the signature.
Yep. 1932. Oh, wow. Look at all of the zinc. Look at the zinc snow through this section, Mr. M. See it all flaking here?
Wow.
Isn't that cool? It's all white and fluffy.
Yeah, still pretty solid.
That's what happens when you expose zinc ore to the air. You get that fluffy snow. All right, we're coming into, looks like maybe our first drift. Nope, maybe not. Let me show it to you. Oh, I see. They see where they were going. They saw that vein right there. Okay. Really crumbly through this section. Holy cow. And we've reached our first ore chute, number 175, with an old ladder going up and a lot of wind blowing in my face. Let's see what we have up there. Oh yeah, we're working in some kind of a stope. Let's see if we can look up that ore chute. Is there anything? No. But we'll definitely have to come back and revisit that ladder. I can feel a bunch of air coming out of there. All right, we're at a crossroads here. Let's first continue up the primary. I think it just goes up here and stops. Yep, indeed it does. All right, turning around. Let's go back here where Mr. M is. Track is going to continue off to the left-hand side of the main, but for now, we could take a poke up in here, see what we can find. Wow. Mr. M, kind of hang back behind me about at least another 20, 30 feet. This is really super crumbly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at the, let me show you the geology, guys. These epithermal deposits get really crumbly. Okay, let's go up in here. And that's going to be the end of this one. Okay, so a moment ago, we were just right up in there where Mr. M is standing. We've already been up in there. Now we're going to take a hard left, follow the tracks here, see what we can see up in here. Another ore chute. Yep, definitely working the vein or the ore body above us here. Might have to try to find a way to get up in there. Phew. Wow, look at all the earthquake damage in here. Ooh, holy cow.
Jeez.
Yeah, this spot really, a lot of it stuff come down.
Wow.
Okay, we have a lot of choices in here.
This is pretty extensive.
Yeah, we got a drift going off to the left, one straight, and the track keeps bending around the corner. I'll tell you what, we'll come back in here and revisit this. Let's just stay along the track for right now. Okay. Little thing going off there, but it stops. And now we're into a room. Yep. Where they were picking into this material. Look at all the crystals and the calcite. That's what those are. We've got everything going on here. Calcite crystals, zinc snow. We are definitely in a gold mine. Okay. Turning back around. I just love the colors in here.
Down here on the floor, we've got a kerosene tin, and this goes around the corner. Let's see what we can find up in here. Ooh. Really sketchy area. Yeah, you got to be real careful in here, Mr. M. This is a collapse area just waiting to happen.
I'm gonna lay down here, Gly.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. This is really sketchy. All right. Let's carefully. Okay. Ooh, lots of rodents up in here. Stinks really bad. There's a pocket that goes up into there and it stops. So off to my left, okay, it turns, keeps on going. Let's see what we have up in here. And it just stops right there. Okay, I'm gonna head back to Mr. M and we'll go down that other drift. Okay, we're back at the junction area here. A moment ago, we were right up there. Now the one we haven't gone down yet, I can't imagine it's gonna go very far, but we'll look at it anyways, is right over here. Yeah, and that's as far as it goes. Not too many artifacts, not too much to see in here. Interesting geology. So let's work our way back to that ladder and see if that's something I can get up into. Okay guys, this mine didn't quite turn out to be as large as I thought it would, so our only other option for exploration is to go up this really nasty looking ladder. So, all right. Let's see if the old fat boy can go up here without snapping a rung or doing something crazy. The hard part's going to be stepping on that. There we go.
Good job.
All right. Now I got one more busted rung. We can put a foot there. Put a foot there. Okay, I think I got it. All right, Mr. M, can you? Perfect. Let's see what we have up here. Oh yeah, indeed, she keeps on going up. Ooh, don't want to grab onto that. Good grief. Okay, give me just a moment, guys. To set the camera down to get my footing up on this nasty terrace. Watch out for rocks below. There we go. Yeah, nothing I'd rather do than climb ladders built in the 1930s, huh? Let's see if that'll take my weight. I think that'll do. Okay. Just need to, there we go. Perfect. Oh, what do we have up here? Okay. Oh. Yeah, ladders keep on going. I gotta find a good handhold here, good foothold. Whew. Good workout here. All right, here we go, turning the corner. Oh, good grief. There we go. Okay. Let's what's up in here. Aha. Oh, there's a bunch of air blowing out. It's kind of skinny getting up through there. But I think, okay, perfect. Looks like the miners were backfilling this. Oh. I'm crawling on my hands and knees. It's very skinny through here. Okay. It's gonna be nice to be able to get to an area where I can stand up. Whew. Down here to my, on the floor, there's what's left of an explosives box. Not too impressive. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me show you what's down here on the floor, guys. Explosive, pieces of explosive boxes, and there's the bottom of one. All right. What do we have up in here? Oh boy. Great big stoked out area. Fantastic. That's just beautiful. I'm gonna try to catch my breath. All right, let me get under this ladder, and I'm gonna point up and see what we can see. That old ladder keeps on going up right there. All right, but before we do that, let's take a look here. Oh, what I'm standing on here, remember when we saw that second ore chute on the main level? I'm standing right above it. And the ore chute is completely chocked, full of material. Okay. Anything up and around the corner? No. Nope. Okay, turning back around. Here's another view of that ladder. And that's where we're gonna go up, right there. I'm gonna take a moment, catch my breath, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, guys, going up, see what we can see up in here. Maybe we've got some cool artifacts that where nobody was brave enough to go into this section of the mine. Wouldn't that be cool? Let's see what we can find. Now, what really has me concerned here is this stall that's immediately to my left is holding up a really large slab of rock, and boy, I just cannot step on that. That whole thing's coming down. There we go. I'm away from it. All right, crawl up here and see what we can see. Okay. Okay, first of all, before we head off that direction and look around, the ladder keeps going up into another area of this stope. Down here on my left, somebody drilled a hole, drew an arrow, and that says powder. There very well could be a charge in that hole. All right, very good. We've reached another level of this mine. Another drift going off that direction. And They were down here at the bottom, they were starting on either an ore pass or a winze. Above my head is a bunch of timbering and what's going to definitely be some sort of a false floor once we go up that next ladder. A big ore chute here, and once again we've got track on the floor. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, oh, we've got some writing, possibly, looks like 1960 on the top one there. Not quite sure about the bottom one. It does kind of look like a 4 on the one side. Well, let's go off this direction first. See what we can see. Or shoot. And the mine does continue off this direction. All right, well, before we follow the track, we'll go this way, and it just stops right there. Down here on the floor is a 1970s Coors can. Okay, let me turn you back around and we will continue on. Oh, it's like, well, my lighting just didn't seem quite right. What do we have here? Can't quite make out the name on that. REN something bench cleaner. You guys can probably see it better than me. All right, we're gonna go ahead and keep following the tracks here. We got a drift going off this direction. Oh yeah, and it's going to keep going up, higher up into more stopes, probably where that last ladder went. All right, well, let's just keep following the track as it winds its way through this mine. Oh, very nice. Okay, but before we go that way, there was something off to my left here. Let me show it to you. Bunch of lumber down on the floor, and yeah, this goes up into that drift and stops. Okay. Wow, you know, when we were down on the first level, I was didn't think that this mine was going to be as large. It wasn't looking that way. Now look at what it's turned into. This is fantastic. Yep. It pays to climb ladders, doesn't it? What do we have up in here? A little thing going off that way. Tiny little hole. What's up in here? All kinds of miner's cat droppings laying on the floor. That's as far as it goes that way. You can see clearly why they were going this direction. Look at the boundary line right there between that material. And a lot of it's flaking off just with that really, really fluffy stuff is falling down just from the sound of my voice. All right, next, let's look up in here. If I can safely climb into this area. Let's look. There we go. All right, what do we have in here? There's a date. I can just barely make it out. We're kind of in a big stoped area. And goes up into a raise right there. Behind me, actually that's the tiny little hole that I came through, only about 30 inches wide. Now we have another area, goes up in here, but it stops. Okay, well, I'm gonna head back and find another direction that we haven't explored yet. Okay, right here on my way back, I did find some old miners' graffiti there. It looks like it says Helen something, and it must be a self-portrait. Okay, I'm continuing on back to above that first ladder. All right, I have worked my way back to where we very first started. Right there, there is a bunch of old miners' graffiti and somebody painted out with spray paint. See, and off to my left, right up there, that's where we came from. There's the ladder that I came up, and we've got another ladder working higher into these stopes we're gonna have to come back and take a closer look at. But for right now, let's turn the corner here and see if this indeed does go back outside. Oh yeah, really skinny area through here. All right. Let's see what we have up here. Oh yeah. Yep. So this is heading back out of the mine. So there's another portal higher up on the side of this hill that's not on my maps. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, turning around here, let's look through this area and see what we can see. Here is a door that at one time, let's look here. This is an old, let's see if this is a manway or an ore pass. Let's see what we got going on here. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, that looks like a winds, but there's no windlass up here going down to that lower level. Looks like something going off to maybe to the left there too. Very cool. Okay. Let's look up in here. Here's another drift in this area that we haven't looked at yet. Just goes right up there and stops. Turning around. We've got another one off this direction. Let's see what we can see up in here. And that used to be an ore chute. Okay, well, I've got a decision to make. I either go down that one ladder into maybe that winds or keep on going up. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I've decided to head back here to that other ladder where the hole in the, where's my finger here? Well, somewhere. Yeah, there's the hole in the wall with the powder. We've got a ladder going up into another stope, and well, let's see. No, actually the air is coming out from the adit below me. We need to look up in here and see what we can see. Give me just a second to get around this ladder. Here we go. Let's turning out to be a day of climbing through stopes, isn't it? Nice, big stoped out area. Okay, let's work our way up in here. Oh yeah. See how they're working that? The hanging wall off to the left. There's that big seam of, looks like andesite running up through there. That's fantastic. Just a beautiful epithermal gold mine is what we've got here. All right. You see that screen down on the floor there? A lot of people mistake that for screening, or when actually it is the it's a bed. It's the springs off of a bed. You know, you put your mattress on top of that. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to go any higher up into that stope. I'm going to be real careful. I'm going to try to step down across all of this debris. Maybe we can get a better look at this. Okay. Ooh. This hanging wall off to my left is just really ugly. Yikes. All right, we've got ourselves, there's a big ore pass. Well, what's left of it. At one time it was an ore pass, but now it's all full. Up here, yeah, that just keeps going all the way and up at that, spits out the top of the mountain. No ladders and a bunch of really loose debris to climb up to that point. Well, let's see if I can possibly get over there. And if it goes anywhere, well, maybe, but there's just so much loose material. Well, if I keep off to the right here, maybe I can keep a foothold. Whoa. All right, let's look up in there. Yeah, it does keep going. Look at how big they're working this. Very cool. All right, I'm gonna try real hard to climb up here for you. Wow, what a great big room this is. Would you look at that? Fantastic. Okay. Let's keep on going here. There we go. Okay guys, I'm gonna try to work my way higher up there to see what we can see. And I'll meet back with you. Ooh, okay guys, made it to the top. That's where we came from, all the way down there in the bottom. That's that stall you saw as I was working my way up. What we have here is a great big stoped out area with a few stalls between the footwall and the hanging wall. Okay, now behind me, let me show you here, we've got a drift. Oh, let's hope this thing goes somewhere. That would be nice. Oh yeah, indeed. Look here. It goes right back outside. Well, that was a lot of fun. So about the only thing that we didn't do is go down that laddered winze. I don't know. I don't think that that's going to be worth it. I'll contemplate it, but I'm going to head back outside, walk down the mountain, and meet back up with Mr. M and Randy. Okay, I'll be back. All right, let's see what this mill is all about. Right away, we just have stuff laying all over the place. Very cool. I think I'll work this in a clockwise rotation here. We have a tool bench with a bunch of cabinetry, and let's continue on in here, see what we can see in the mill. Oh yeah, look at all the electrical panels here. The #1 ball mill main box, lighting off to my left. You have flotation cell main box. Very interesting. This is super cool. Okay, turning around, we've got a stairs that's going to go up there. Why don't we take a look at that first? Let's go up here and see what we can see. Oh, look here. I think we've got a, is this a shaker deck? I believe it is. See them big springs there? That was my first clue. I'll kind of point the camera up there so you can see. And it was being fed by this big hopper here. And above that hopper is that head frame. Okay, can't really get around that direction here. Turning around, let's look down here. Wow, this is really something. Okay, workbench, and we are going to go back down the stairs. Now, as I walked by this big electrical component here, the smell coming off of that thing smells like burned wires. Some of you out there in the audience, you might know what that is. Let me know down in the comment section. I always appreciate your comments. Okay. Next, let's work off this direction. More electrical boxes. Flotation cells. The master box. Zinc condition. That's interesting. All right. Well, I did find a little bit of zinc in that small adit we went into. Okay, let's look off over here. And I'm going to have to carefully, I don't want to walk on that. That looks like something I could probably fall through. Okay, there we go. More boxes. #2 ball mill, main switch. That one went out to the mine. Okay, down here. Wow, just all sorts of pieces and parts and things down in there. Okay. Now I'm going to take you over to what looks like maybe some flotation cells. I'll see you over there. Okay, so a moment ago we were just right up there. That's where that shaker deck is. Then off to my left Here we have some smaller flotation cells right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what are flotation cells? Well, they would add cyanide into the mix, and then that would free the gold. Then they would aerate the mixture. The bubbles would come to the top, and then there was usually some sort of a skimmer mechanism that would skim those bubbles off, and then they would take that to the forge, or to the refinery, I should say, and fire it to get your bars of door right there. Okay, now we've got something interesting this direction that Mr. M wants to point out to you. It was right over here. Oh yeah, another shaker table. What do you got over here, Mr. M?
Exactly. But all these pipes are coming out from everywhere in here. And there's pans and catch basins and pipes and everything that run to here.
Yep.
They go into this trough that has this wheel that has these pieces of angle iron on it, so that it'll scoop this up in the bottom.
Right.
And all these liquids start going into here and across. Nice table too, big one.
Yeah, and notice on that table they have the little areas where you can divert the water. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's for water diversion, so that you can control the flow going across the table.
Nice.
Very cool. All right, let's keep looking around here, see what else we can find. Okay, there's Mr. M right down there. That's where we were a moment ago. Now let me show you guys the copious amounts of mining equipment and hoses and just about everything laying through this area. Spare electrical, you name it, it's laying here. And another view of the mill. Now the next spot that I want to take you is up here by the flotation cells. So let's go over there next. Okay, I'm up here by the large flotation cells. I showed you the smaller ones inside the mill. These are your primary tanks right here. And again, it's all a process of concentration. So after you crush your ore, these are the these flotation cells is where you're going to enter that ore first, okay? And again, you're going to treat it with cyanide, and then you're going to aerate it and take that material, that bubbly kind of a mixture, and then put it through your secondary concentrators, and eventually you work that down and you can take it across your shaker tables. Lots of electrical panels here. So these things right here, what we're looking at, okay, this is how you separate that kind of a, how would I best way to explain it? It's just this really kind of a bubbly, frothy mixture. And these fins that you're seeing right here, as you enter that material down into each one of these, what do they call that? A capillary, I believe. Here, then there's another one there, and another one there. See, the material has to leapfrog through this, and then you can skim it off of those filters, and that's how you retrieve your gold concentrate. Really neat. Let's see if we have anything off this direction. Is anything hiding around the back side of the flotation cell? No, there's not. It's too bad there's not a ladder where I could get up a little bit higher to look down into these for you, but you probably saw it in the drone footage. Okay, I'm gonna keep scratching around, see if I can't find something else to show you guys. Okay guys, didn't travel too much further. What I did is I kind of went around the back side of this big hill because I knew that there was another adit over here, and well, I gotta tell you, it sure is nice to get inside these mines today. It's probably about 93 degrees outside and it's just beautiful inside the mine. Okay, we've got a powder mag right here. Let's look up at that first. Yep, there's where we kept the dynamite. And down there on the floor, what do we have? Oh, it's a more modern can of peaches. Okay, so someone's been in here. I'm just gonna back right out of that and close the door. All right. The primary goes off that direction. We've got another drift right here. Small little thing with some modern garbage down in the bottom. Okay, nothing really to see there. So, let's head off this way and see what we can see. Yeah, the reason I'm kind of huffing and puffing is the road didn't come very close to the portal. I had to hike about 200 yards up the hill. Oh, well, look at here, guys. You see how you can get turned around in these mines? I thought we were going to be going into a brand new adit, an entirely different mine, and look, we're right back where we started from. There's the ladder going down that winze right there. So somehow we corkscrewed our way inside of this mountain. Then I got an old Bob, drove around, came up in this other portal, and here we are right back where we started from. Well, interesting. Well, boy, I don't like going down these. Let me show you something. You see the configuration of that ladder? You got the rungs on the top. And the reason that they made them this way is because the ladder is dual purpose. Okay? Not only can you walk up and down to get in and out of the winze, but you can also haul a tool skip up and down the ladder on the rails right there. And that's why they made the ladders dual purpose like that. But the problem is because the rungs are on that other side of the ladder, my weight pushing down could push and pop those rungs out. Okay? So, like I showed you earlier, I just don't think that that's going to go anywhere. I don't like being on a ladder like that without maybe some sort of a rope. So, all right, well, short and sweet, but that was a lot of fun, nevertheless. Okay, guys, I want to just thank you for coming along with me today on another really cool mine site. We got to see a bunch of old buildings in the area, as well as that mill, and I got you inside of another neat looking gold mine. I really like these epithermal mines because they're just loaded with cool geology and color. Again, thanks you all for coming along, and I will see you again next weekend. All right, take care. Bye-bye.